It was a little bit of a marathon journey in yesterday, but our next pile of materials, hopefully the remainder of a cabin, we made her in with the aid of some tire chains, which unfortunately were installed about 20 minutes too late. We had a spot in mind to put them on, and the government road was a sheet of ice, which we discovered as we careened backwards down the hill, which would have been a good video, but it happened pretty quick. But we chained up, stuck. That is the only damages, which I wouldn't even say they're damages other than, well, I got to chip some dirt out of a light. Maybe it got punched in, but oh, all in all, I'm going to call it, we made her all the way in. We were thinking we might have to ditch the trailer halfway and come in, grab the skid steer and unload some, but and right where we're sitting, we slid sideways on the snow, even with the chains on. So this is where it's getting unloaded. But get some tarps off here and get some straps off and see if everything's present and accounted for underneath there. If you ever have the opportunity to haul something underneath a fitted tarp, man, it makes travel so much easier because you just don't worry, because you can't see anything to worry about. I will be using a fitted tarp. This one I found in the ditch, so it's a little ripped, but it served its purpose. Anyway, I'm gonna get started unloaded and then we'll start building. 3,000 feet of elevation makes a big difference when you're huffing and puffing, but we're getting her. Tarps off. Took a few things out already, but this is essentially hopefully enough to finish the cabin. Insulation, doors, windows. It's a mere bathtub up there. Should be good. We'll see. Free sink off of Marketplace or something my wife found. I don't think we wasted any space on this load either, but oh, and our last beam finish. Tin. I'm sure we forgot something, but and a septic tank, which we've had for a couple of years. Didn't know where we were going to use it, but it was cheap when I bought it, so pays to sit on things for years. But anyway, I'm going to carry on, but that's basically what we brought. It is, yeah, it was heavy, but it made it. That's all I was worried about. It gets dark kind of early out here in the winter, obviously. So time is of the essence, but between shoveling snow yesterday and figuring out where everything got left and getting trailer unpacked and then retarping everything because the snow started and then doing a little more shoveling, this is where we got to last night. Got half our floor joists in. We got our missing beam. Brought it, put it up. That was, yeah, I'll regret that in, yeah, maybe even tomorrow. That was heavy. And couldn't quite get in here to put it up with the skid steer because its ground's frozen, so it slides around. And didn't want to try to cold start the hoe because it's sitting out in the bald prairies by itself. But got all our rafters cut. I'm just going to climb up there, scrape some ice, and try to get them sat and strapped. And beauty of a pole building is I'm going to finish the roof first, so if we get snowed on again, I don't have to worry about brushing everything off underneath. Yeah, other than that, we're kind of hoping to have, by the end of today, a roof up. And trying to decide whether I close in some walls, because the walls don't even sit on the floor, they sit on the outside beam. And then I can kind of work inside out of the wind, but it hasn't been too windy. This is only the second day working, but and then we can figure out how we're laying out the inside, which we've changed our mind on a couple things, but the principle will be the same. There'll be a small bathroom, bedroom, kitchenette. That'll look like a Holiday Inn room with a little more ambiance, hopefully. But anyway, I'm going to climb up there and try not to duff it on the ice, but time will tell. Well, it's another frosty morning. I'm not sure what the temperature is, never looked, but the lake is assumably frozen. Haven't walked out to check, but here is progress report. Yeah, went into the darkness last night, getting things kind of squared away, but not even sure how many floor joists are left to go, but we are officially ready for tin. I'm going to put some membrane up because we're going to insulate this, so put some membrane up, and then we got to sheet the underside of the floor so we can insulate the floor. Got a couple more to put in, but so this is today's project. Hopefully we'll get her covered. The floor, I don't know how far we'll get on the floor, but if I get all the tin up and the last couple fascia boards up, which I held off because I think I'm going to have exactly 0 pieces of rough cut left when I'm done to finish that. So I'd hate to steal from the floor to finish the fascia board. If we get to that point, we'll put them up. If we don't have them, then we'll have to come up with something else, even put a piece of plywood over it for the time being and seal it up so we can insulate the roof. But kind of looking on track to have heat in it here in the next, I'd say 3 days. Should be able to put the stove in. We're changing some layout inside, so we'll yeah, we'll get the roof on, and then we got to make a plan as to how to finish. But got the last of our materials. That's going to be our bathtub slash shower. A little tile in there. Stick that in and should be good to go. But put some membrane up, and if anyone ever wonders about a Milwaukee MX Fuel light tower, worth every penny. That thing is a godsend. And then we'll get in here and do some more organizing. But that'll be once we have a cabin that's inhabitable. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll camera dies so fast in the cold that I was going to video some yesterday, but the battery was getting low again. But we'll see what we can get done today. Talk to you later. Well, our vapor barrier membrane is all up, and first 2 sheets of tin are in place. Now Danielle's got to climb up and figure out how to tuck the closures in without falling through the membrane, and I get the easy job of putting screws in. So hopefully one of us don't end up...
It'll be me.
It'll be me. Hopefully one of us don't end up downstairs. But tinning is underway, and I know that's cheating, but again, it's there. I'm going to use it. But and I think we're going to be 0 rough cut left. So we got to hold off putting the last fascia board on until we know the floor's done. But we're off to tin. We'll let you know how it makes out. It is a beautiful -24 Caribou morning, and the cabin is coming along. I got the strapping underneath this half. I'm going to lay plywood in and insulate. Tin's up, vapor barrier's up, ready to start putting some walls up. We'll see, I might put the walls up, get things sealed in, and then start insulating everything inside. We still haven't put these last couple on because I'm going to try to dig in the septic line yet. But generator's running, try to get the hoe going and the skid steer going. They're both a little cranky. I didn't even try them this morning. Seems kind of mean. So we will, we'll be working at this today. See what kind of a enclosure we can get. Get the layout done, get a wood stove going in it, and then we can work with the wood stove going. The old cabin, to say at -24 is chilly inside is an understatement. It was +5 this morning inside. Give you a little incentive to get the coffee pot going and get the fire going again. But we survived. Sleep with your toque on, keep your head warm, lots of blankets. It's still nice. Wouldn't change it for the world. But anyway, this camera's going to freeze again, so I'm going to throw it somewhere and we will get to work. Chat at you later.